Lesson 8. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This idea is, of course, the reason why you see only the past. No one really sees anything. He sees only his thoughts projected outward. The mind's preoccupation with the past is the cause of the misconception about time from which your seeing suffers. Your mind cannot grasp the present, which is the only time there is. It therefore cannot understand time and cannot, in fact, understand anything. The only wholly true thought one can hold about the past is that it is not here. To think about it at all is therefore to think about illusions. Very few have realized what is actually entailed in picturing the past or in anticipating the future. The mind is actually blank when it does this because it is not really thinking about anything. The purpose of the exercises for today is to begin to train your mind to recognize when it is not really thinking at all. While thoughtless ideas preoccupy your mind, the truth is blocked. Recognizing that your mind has been merely blank rather than believing that it is filled with real ideas is the first step to opening the way to vision. The exercises for today should be done with eyes closed. This is because you actually cannot see anything, and it is easier to recognize that no matter how vividly you may picture a thought, you are not seeing anything. With as little investment as possible, search your mind for the usual minute or so, merely noting the thoughts you find there. Name each one by the central figure or theme it contains and pass on to the next. Introduce the practice period by saying, "I seem to be thinking about..." Then name each of your thoughts specifically. For example, "I seem to be thinking about..." someone, name of a person, "about something," name of an object. "I seem to be thinking about..." name of an emotion, whatever it is. "I seem to be thinking about..." and so on, concluding at the end of the mind searching period with, "But my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts." This can be done 4 or 5 times during the day, unless you find it irritates you. If you find it trying, 3 or 4 times is sufficient. You might find it helpful, however, to include your irritation or any emotion that the idea for today may induce in the mind searching itself. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. There is a part of our minds that would keep us haunted by the ghosts of the past and would keep us anticipating and anxious about fantasies of the future. It is a part of our mind that is distracting us, that is keeping us in overanalyzation of illusion, of ghosts and fantasies, that which is not real. It is keeping us stuck in projecting guilt onto someone or something and ourselves, or projecting limitation on ourselves. The Course says the past is over, can touch us not. This lesson states that when our mind is preoccupied with the past or the future, it cannot grasp the present moment. It cannot have that divine neutrality, that clean slate, that set of fresh eyes, that we want to approach the present moment that it says is the only time there actually is. When divinity meets humanity is right now, in the present moment. Every thought about the past that is not of love, and every thought about the future that is not of love, blocks the healing, the transformation, blocks the miracle right now. because right now, in the present moment, is when we can decide to see things differently. The Course says when we are preoccupied or haunted or consumed by the ghosts of the past or the anxieties, the fantasies of the future, we are creating more of that right now. We create what we defend against. We create what we fear. Thought is cause, our experience is the effect. All thinking produces form at some level. So we oftentimes, very unconsciously, bring the past into the present by reliving it, making the future more of the same. That is how we get stuck in cycles and patterns and spirals of the same old, same old. And the miracle is a direct vertical correction right now, where you decide in this moment to step out of that pattern, to step out of that cycle. That's why you can be reborn in any moment that you decide not to bring the past with you or to think about the future, to worry about the future. The only moment, the only time that there is, it says the holy instant is the present moment. That is where the miracle occurs. The power of your mind to choose differently. So this lesson talks about mind searching again, taking a few minutes, a minute or so, several times today to watch the quality and caliber of thoughts that are crossing your mind, to see what's there that's coming up for you to look at. It's right there at the forefront of your mind. And I love this phrase, what crosses your mind? This is not in the Course, but I love this one. What crosses your mind? And we watch it cross our mind. There's that saying, in one ear and out the other. What's crossing your mind? But you're looking at it as it's going through your consciousness without overanalyzing it, without over-identifying with it, without attaching any other meaning or desire to it, just letting it be, let it cross your mind. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, is healing in the present moment, because that's the miracle. That's the transformation. Right now you can decide, and you have the power of choice. It's your responsibility to take back your power and decide whether you want to be haunted or healed. Do you want to be blessed or burdened? Because it's up to you and the thoughts, taking back control of the choice of thoughts, what you buy into, what you believe, what you're thinking right now. I read this poem just yesterday by Young Pueblo that said, it's only heavy because you are deciding to carry it over and over and over again. It's so true. You were not created, you were not meant to carry such heavy burdens. The upset, the overwhelm, the worry, the anxiety, the anticipation. You were not created to be at the effect of any kind of upset like that. You were meant to be free because God is free. You're meant to be at peace. You're meant to be abundant. You're meant to be happy. These burdens, these ghosts, these past and future thoughts, as this lesson says, are nothing, because the only time is right now. So it either already happened and it's not active here, or it hasn't happened yet. It's not active here. But we can make these so much heavier because we are carrying it over and over again. We are bringing the past into the present and creating a future like that. Or we're bringing a fantasy of the future into the present and creating a future like that. Either way, we're not living in the present. We're completely preoccupied, completely distracted by that part of our mind which wants us to be distracted, because our job is to work miracles. We cannot work miracles from this place. Because we cannot see the truth, it says in this lesson. We cannot see perfect love. We cannot see perfect peace. We cannot see who we truly are because we're bogged down and distracted by all of this nonsense. So it's really important. Doing the workbook, doing this training, this mind training, will help you to let go of the past associations, the past thoughts you have, and the future fantasies, the future anticipations, the future anticipations and anxieties and worries and stresses and fears that are not even real. Past thoughts are not real. The future thoughts are not real. It's about what you decide right now. That's the miracle, the shift in thinking. So let's do this exercise today. A couple of times a day, it says. There are very specific sentences for you to repeat to help you with training your mind to realizing, to looking at the thoughts, being aware of the thoughts that are crossing your mind. Let's see what thoughts come up. Let's practice it. And let's get back into living in the divinely neutral freedom of the holy instant that is right now, so that we can be filled with the truth instead of preoccupied and filled with all of this nonsense, all of these weeds that clutter our mind, the cobwebs of our mind that cover the inner sanctuary within. And we can go out and work miracles and have a happy, peaceful, loving life. I'll see you tomorrow.